Good evening, Lake Orion. This is going to be a crazy show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Anthony, and this is going to be crazy.
Go Blue.
Good evening, Lake Orion. Welcome to Between Taorminas, as Anthony failed to mention there. We have a special Election Day edition here of the show, and we're going to be able to pick our sides.
We also got a special guest.
Yeah, there he is. Connor Stalin, say hello.
Go Blue.
All right. So I understand there's a couple state fans on the, well, there's one major state fan on this table here, and that is Salvatore, Sally, Taormina. Me and Anthony are more OU. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go Grizzlies. And then there's this guy. Who do you root for again?
Go Blue.
Okay. So
The Michigan Maniac, he's called.
Yeah. Connor, tell us a little about yourself, a little about what in the world you're doing here with your
Well,
life.
my cape is signed by the entire team. I have season tickets to Michigan football. I have been to every game this year besides the Nebraska game.
Thank God Big Red beat you guys.
And I have a present for Sammy.
Get that thing out of here!
Oh, I'll leave it right here.
All right, so this first segment we wanted to talk a little college athletics. Let's just cut to the chase here, though. Let's get down to the football.
Yeah.
State, good game against Nebraska.
Tough call.
Yeah. Anyways, that was bad calls. And then Michigan, Denard did not play quarterback,
No, he did
But
not.
still won.
still did well. Now, see, here's an interesting point because everyone is kind of riding Devin Gardner as, hey, he's great, yada yada yada.
Is he?
But what did Denard do last year to Minnesota? I don't know all the numbers, but I know he killed him. I think he.
56-0.
Yeah, didn't he? What was the score at halftime?
Not sure, but
Yeah.
Minnesota, to be honest
a
with you,
shutout.
Minnesota is not that impressive. I mean,
Right.
they've been struggling in football for years now. And
So that's
it's
my
not even
question.
funny.
Why all the love for Devin Gardner, but Denard is kind of swept under the rug now? Is that an issue for Blue? Do we have a pending issue, perhaps?
I don't think it's an issue. They switched to the I formation, which is what I have been wanting this whole year.
Sure.
And they finally started running it up the middle and ran play action, and they were successful.
I think it's a big issue because if you look at what, Denard brings a huge difference in the spread passing attack. If you look at what Gardner is, he can, sure he can do an I-pro formation, but, he's clearly a spread formation quarterback. He was like that when he was at Inkster, and he's right now doing it in Ann Arbor.
Why? Okay. He didn't come in versus Nebraska, right, when Denard got hurt.
Right. That was a question.
He got moved to wide receiver at the beginning of the year, or in spring or whatever, and earlier in the season, when asked about who was going to be the quarterback next year, Hoke kind of didn't give a definite answer. Now, Devin Gardner, that was the plan all along. What's
I don't think that was a plan. I really don't think that kind of came at a moment's notice because Denard got hurt, and at the end of the day, Hoke needed a quarterback, and it ended up being Devin Gardner.
But why the lack of faith?
He should have played
earlier?
in Lincoln, though. I mean,
Should,
if you look at it here,
I will agree with that.
If you look at what why would you put Bellamy in Lincoln, Nebraska, against the Black Shirts when you have Devin Gardner who played quarterback? That was just a bad decision by Brady Hoke in that game in Lincoln.
Well, Gardner hasn't been playing quarterback all year.
He should have been playing in that game because he has the same athleticism as Denard Robinson does, He would have gave Michigan a much more fair chance to win that game in Lincoln than Bellamy did.
But he hasn't taken any reps all season. He doesn't know the playbook as well. He's focusing on wide receiver. He doesn't know exactly what's going on all over the place. I think they had to put Bellamy out there.
The question is
No,
why?
he didn't.
Why the lack of trust in Devin Gardner at the quarterback position? Why was he not the backup
Well, I think we were not prepared for Denard being hurt, so we settled with Bellamy at backup,
Who's
and
we?
Denard
The way Denard
Who's
plays,
we?
the way
Denard
Denard plays,
was better.
Who's we?
or Devin Gardner is better at wide receiver, so we put him there because
better
that's
at
where
wide
he belongs.
receiver than he is at quarterback.
Yeah.
No. Gardner, Gardner struggles at times at receiver. I think, Gardner is better at quarterback. If you want to do something with Gardner, sure, he can play receiver for 1 year, but then you got to put him at quarterback for next year.
Oh,
this is like another Marquise Gray situation at Minnesota.
He'll be playing quarterback next year for sure.
What about guys with Michigan State and Nebraska? Michigan State ended up getting another tough loss against Nebraska.
2 pretty bad calls in that game.
Yeah, really.
What do you
bad.
guys think about that? I mean, obviously that's tough for Michigan State, but what do you guys think about that?
Michigan State had 4 losses this year by 4 points or less. I mean, it's been a frustrating year to be a State fan. Your defense, you're supposed to have one of the best defenses in the country, and right now, they give a late touchdown to Nebraska. You know what I mean? Why would you let Taylor Martinez go for 200 yards against your defense? Where is the passion? Where's the pressure? Where's the intensity? And that's saying it, and I'm a State fan. You know what I mean? Offense, I've been very disappointed with, especially with Maxwell. But what can you say? You know what I mean? You're changing your whole philosophy, your whole offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Connor, what do you think?
All I got to say is go blue.
Quiet. That's terrible.
Well,
I miss Paul Bunyan.
the thing is
You won't
that,
be seeing him for a while.
I will be next year.
Nope.
Yes, I will.
We'll see.
well, do you guys think Michigan State's got 2 games left? They play Minnesota and they play Northwestern. Do you think State gets in a bowl game?
Yes, it'll be 7-5.
Connor?
Yes, they will.
Ian?
What does it matter?
I mean, Big Ten.
Because they'll be playing in the Buffalo Wild Wings
What,
Bowl.
the Pizza Bowl or something?
I got another question to ask you guys.
Yes.
Oakland basketball is on the horizon. What do you guys think about Oakland basketball?
I think if you look at Oakland with their league this year, I mean, it's an interesting league. Got South Dakota State, North Dakota State. I mean, you got IUPUI, IPFW.
Your friends, Ian.
But also, I think Oakland.
down
I think Oakland. If you look at it, I think they're the 3rd best team in the Summit League right now, behind North Dakota State and South Dakota State.
Where did you have him ranked last year? Like 7th?
No, he didn't have him 7th.
I had them 3rd last year.
You sure about that? All right.
Connor, what do you think?
I think.
Don't say that thing.
Oh, you want to talk about Michigan basketball now?
No,
Michigan basketball is
because
gonna have a
Michigan won't
great
play
season.
Oakland in basketball. That's the thing. That's my problem with Michigan. They will not play Oakland in basketball. Why? Please
him.
explain that.
Answer him.
We don't need to play you guys.
You're scared.
Oh, rubbish. You're scared.
scared.
You are scared.
You're scared.
You're
You're
telling
scared.
me
You're
Michigan is
scared.
scared of Oakland in
Yes,
basketball.
yes, I am.
When's the last time Oakland beat Michigan?
2000. Oakland has beaten Michigan.
Okay.
Michigan doesn't want to play Oakland because Michigan knows Oakland can beat them.
Who'd they play their
Highly
first
doubt
game?
that.
Northern from Florida, whatever school that is.
Michigan just, Michigan does have
Weak.
Trey Burke, but I mean,
They won't beat Indiana this year. They will not beat Indiana this year.
I would like to see Michigan play a Summit League team. If they're not going to play Oakland, I'd like to see them play a Summit League team. I know they got it with the IUPUI, but I mean, I'd like to see Oakland play Michigan. in
You look like you have
basketball
some pull up at in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
Talk
You
to
look like-
talk to what's his name, David Brandon.
Okay.
Get it
I
on the
will.
schedule. All right.
I will.
All right, you guys. I feel like we don't have much time left, but is there anything that you want to say to this man about his program?
Paul Bunyan's coming to East back home next year.
68, 32, and 5. Michigan State can win every year until 2048, and Michigan will still be leading the series.
game. Wow, that's cold, Sam.
We'll be right back after the break here on Between Taorminas.
Go blue.
Go Blue.
Hey, this is Mickey York from Fox Sports Detroit. When I want to get the inside scoop on local sports, I watch Between Taorminas or Fox Sports Detroit.
Please remember that CFL bulbs, those curly, energy-efficient light bulbs everybody is using to save electricity, shouldn't be thrown away in your trash. Neither should batteries or home medical sharps. You can check with your local community to see where they can be recycled. Some retailers will allow you to bring them in for recycling. You can also order simple kits online that allow you to collect your recyclables and simply mail them away to be properly recycled. This green tip was brought to you by your friends at Waste Management.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas and
ONTV.
on Orion Neighborhood Television. Thanks, Ant.
Yep.
Right now, though, we gotta talk Lake Orion.
Lake Orion,
Another big
impressive
weekend.
win against Utica Eisenhower. You know, I wonder if that should have been a district final, because I think that could have been a regional final right there. Those are two very good programs. It was your typical Lake Orion Utica Eisenhower football game.
Not as high scoring as we predicted
No,
on the show.
It was always
they're never
high
high
scoring.
Well, then why'd you predict such high scores?
Well, because a lot of people, I looked at Eisenhower's defense. You know, I mean, like
Eisenhower's offense.
Little
Ike's
suspect?
offense actually was a little bit suspect. You know what I mean, coming in and
Sure.
you know, and you just got to give props to the defense. You know what they did in that game. You know,
Both defenses.
played very well, and it took a bootleg
From Derek Delora.
from Derek Delora to win that game. You know,
You didn't know. I mean, the thing was that it felt like the whole game Lake Orion had momentum. It really felt like Lake Orion controlled tempo. That's what I said last week. Was they had to control tempo against Utica Eisenhower. You know, and
didn't start off well. 97-yard kickoff
well,
return.
obviously the 97-yard kickoff return, but if
That
you
was
look
their only
for
score?
most of the game, yes. If you look at if you look the whole game, how many yards did Utica Eisenhower get? 75 yards.
75.
Whole game.
That's a shocker right there. That's a great job by our defense there.
That is amazing. That's
You
phenomenal.
don't paint up green and white for the
No,
team?
I was in Minnesota actually during the game. Yeah.
Would you ever paint up green and white for Lake
Not-
Orion?
I actually film the other games for Coach Bell. Like this
Ah.
Friday, I'll be in Saline filming the Castech game.
We
Ooh,
can beat
Cass
Dakota.
Tech.
You know what I mean? If we can get past Dakota.
Yes,
Speaking of
Dakota.
Macomb, Dakota, Sammy, I mean, you and I both have some history. You more with Macomb, Dakota. If you remember Macomb, Dakota, they ended up eliminating Lake Orion our junior year and our senior year. And that was extremely humbling. Obviously, you have a little bit of disdain and dislike towards Dakota. Dakota 3-0 against Lake Orion in the playoffs. What do you think about Dakota?
Well, if you look at Macomb, Dakota, you know, they're a good team. I mean, like, you just got to give them their props. You know, they played in the MAC Red. I mean, like, I know Coach Giolani's done a very good job over there. You know, I mean, like, you know, I'm not going to show my disdain, you know what I mean, like, toward Dakota, but, you know, I still have a deep hatred for them.
You can show it.
But if you look
This
at,
is your show. You can do it.
you know, but if you look at what Dakota has, what they have, traditionally they're a spread team. They'll spread it out. They'll also throw a lot of option. They'll run it. They got two good backs. And then they also would run a lot of screen. I think that's going to be the key in this matchup, especially here. But I think, you know, if you look at it here, I think Lake Orion's seen teams have run the spread this year. I know Troy has run it, Troy Athens has run it, and Rochester have
West
run
Bloomfield.
it. West Bloomfield also has run the spread off.
Probably not as effective as Dakota.
Probably not as
was.
effective as Dakota, but it's going to be a very interesting matchup, especially with how slow Macomb, Dakota starts early on.
So what was Dakota's schedule to get here in the playoffs? Who have they beaten?
Dakota played Chippewa Valley and L'Anse Creuse North.
Both them at home.
Well, the Chippewa Valley, yeah, both at home. Chippewa Valley was red. And
And
L'Anse
Dakota
Creuse was
travels
white.
to Dragon Country this
Yes.
week.
This is the first time that they've traveled all
Yes.
year. The last time Macomb, Dakota was in Oakland County for the playoffs, they lost in 2009 to Clarkston.
Uh-oh.
So
Final
that-
score? What was the score of that game?
I don't have a remembering
Two
score. I think it
scores,
was 24-14 in
So
that
it was-
game.
it was-
But if you look at it here, I think if you look at what Macomb, Dakota, you know, this is going to be truly the first time that Macomb, Dakota has had a true road game against a very good team. If you look at their schedule that Macomb, Dakota's played all year, the teams they played were combined 12-24 this year. Lake Orion at home this season was 30-15. If you look at what they have, you know, Macomb, Dakota, they're a very good team. You know what I mean? I think Lake Orion and Dakota are two evenly matched teams, but, you know, it's going to come down to, I think, it's going to be the will and desire, and I think it's going to come down to home field in this matchup.
I think the Dragons match up a lot better defensively against Dakota than they do against Eisenhower. And
Why
I
is that?
think because the defense has seen the spread, And the defense is just dominant right now.
Well, it
They're
sounds
just
like they're
dominant.
pretty dominant against
They're dominant
Ike.
right now
Yeah.
against Stevenson and Ike in the playoffs. And they're just, ever since the second half against Farmington, they've been dominant. And I mean dominant.
One more time.
No.
Dominant.
Dominant. Simple.
I like it. Connor, words of wisdom. Did you film Dakota at all? You got the scoop?
No, I was in Minnesota. So
You didn't anywhere through the
not
year you
in
haven't?
Dakota,
Okay,
no.
okay.
But I have word on the street is Ike is a little better than Dakota since late in the season. I do think since we beat Ike, I think we can beat Dakota, and we can probably win the next round too.
Is there? Well, now, hey, now, settle down.
Not go there yet.
Just
Settle
not go
down.
there
Settle
yet.
down, Blue Boy.
Settle down.
Now,
I
listen.
think Ike is the best team.
In the match.
I do.
Yes.
You do make a good point. I
Yes.
do think that Utica Eisenhower, they were the best defense in the MAC Red, but offensively, I would have to disagree. Dakota on offense, they're averaging 38 points a game. If you look at Eisenhower, they're averaging 28. So basically, this is a very different offense. That Orion's going to be seeing. Eisenhower, of course, a power team. Dakota's a spread team. Okay, they're going to use their athletes, so this will be a very interesting challenge.
Do you think there's any factor of Lake Orion overlooking Dakota this weekend, or do you think they're hungry enough?
I think
They're hungry.
I
They
think
want to
they're-
beat Dakota.
They want to beat
I think
Dakota.
They 3-0 in the playoffs for Dakota against Lake Orion. That cannot last. That's not going to last. The undisputed streak ends for Dakota.
All right.
Dakota. is
What's
done.
the X factor?
I think if the Lake Orion offense can get going, that's the thing. Because Lake Orion's offense was not very good last week.
Right.
They just weren't. If Derek DeLaura can get the passing game going, if Derek DeLaura can control the game, Orion's going to be fine.
I think the X factor is Jacob Miller in this matchup. Here's why. Because Jacob Miller was basically shut down last week against a very good Ike, aggressive 3-5-3 defense. Now he's going up against a 4-3 defense. He's seen a 4-3 defense. If Jacob Miller can, and this is going to be a fast defense. Dakota's a very fast defense. If Jacob Miller can dominate against a good 4-3 defense, like what Dakota's going to bring, I think he's going to get points. He's going to score.
All right, predictions.
Dakota, remember, defensively allows 13 a game.
Yes.
Well, predictions?
Yeah. Let's go around.
I'm going to say the Dragons win this game. They're going to move on. They're going to win the indirect MAC Red championship. And I'm going to say the Dragons beat Dakota.
And they go on to face the winner of Cass Tech
Winner of Cass
and
Tech and
Most
Saline.
likely be Cass Tech
Okay.
if they win.
What do you got?
I got Lake Orion by 10.
Lake Orion by 10?
Yep.
You got a specific number?
No.
Just by 10?
Just by 10.
Book it.
Yeah.
All right. Sammy, what do you got?
I'm going to say Lake Orion, 24-14 over Macomb
By
Dakota.
10.
By 10.
That's what I was thinking.
Here's the reason why I'm saying it is because, one, I think the defense is on a mission, but also, Dakota starts off slow in the first half, I think Orion's going to put up at least 14 on them in the first half, and I think,
They only scored 4 points against Chippewa
They only
Valley.
scored 4 points against Chippewa Valley at halftime.
Two
But
safeties.
I think this is the difference with Dakota being on the road, being at Orion, having to come to Orion. The travel's going to be hectic, I think. And then, of course, I think it's going to take its toll on
Dakota
the
hasn't
Cougars.
seen a team like Lake Orion in terms of speed.
No, they haven't seen
They
that.
have not.
Not even the MAC Red.
No.
Not even since Dearborn Fordson.
Not even Fordson.
Not
Lake
since
Orion's better than
Fordson?
They lost that one week one. They haven't lost a game in 10 straight weeks.
All right. Well, they got
All
their
good
work.
things gotta
They got
come
their
in
work
then.
cut out, huh? Yeah. All right. Well, listen. We come back. We're gonna do a lot of call-outs here on Between Taorminas. Welcome back to Between Taorminas here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Boys, we should extend a happy birthday to our very wonderful producer, director, cameraman, everything, jack of all trades, Mr. Joe Velez. It's his birthday today.
He does a phenomenal job.
He's only 39 years old. Can you believe it?
Joe Velez does a phenomenal job.
Does a phenomenal job. We
Yes.
love him here and very thankful for Joe. All right, so it's Call Out Central here on the third segment.
Yep.
Anthony,
I will go first, and gladly.
please.
My first call out involves, hey, you guys know, what's my name? What's my name? Sam, what's my name?
Is this a trick question?
What's my name, Ian?
King of Weather?
What's my name, Connor?
Ant.
Thank you.
Waitress?
Somebody had the
Annie.
audacity to call me Annie.
Any.
Annie. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 21 times.
21
Football
times?
player.
An LO football player, Zach Green. Zach, why? Simple. What's my name, man? My name is not Annie. My name is Ant. My name is Anthony. A-Train. The king of weather. Ant-Train. I've got so many aliases.
And he's not one of them.
And he's just not one of them. I've only been called that 3 times in my life. Now you have to call me at 21 times. Zach Green, look, I know you're a great person, great football player, great basketball player, great baseball player. But Zach, get your names right. Simple as that. My second call, give me that hat back.
You got 2?
My second call out involves, you know, I talk about superheroes and I talk about identities, hidden identities. You look at all those superheroes on that list. Even this guy right here claims he's a superhero.
That guy on the right looks really good.
He's a villain. Yeah, right.
Chuck Norris?
But anyway,
That guy needs a
that's
lightsaber.
anyways, you
All
look
of us
at,
need lightsabers.
anyways, why do you need a secret identity? What reason do you guys need it? I mean, I don't understand that. Why can't you just be your old, cool, good-looking self? Look at me. I look good. I look fashionable, yet I don't have a hidden identity. I have nicknames. I have aliases. But at the same time, you know, I'm still good old Ant. Why do you need a hidden identity? Why do you need a hidden identity?
They all
Why?
need lightsabers.
Yes, they all need lightsabers, yes. But, I mean, those who have hidden identities, just go by your regular name. Get rid of the goofy costumes, for starters. Especially that one in the Michigan outfit. Just get rid of that goofy costume.
Go blue.
It's terrible.
That's terrible.
All right, I'm done.
Your call-outs astound me every week. All right.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, if you think back to episode 49 of Between the Taorminas, a certain someone called me out and told me that Michigan would lose to Michigan State. This certain someone was Sammy Taormina.
Ooh, look at that handsome man.
Sammy, I got something for
Get
you.
that thing out of here!
Sammy, you're going to just do it once.
No,
Just do it.
no.
Okay, okay, we'll put it right
Get
here.
that thing out of here.
Okay. Think back to October 20th. Brendan Gibbons' game-winning field goal.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, I was there. Very, very fun game. And, of course, right when that field goal went through the uprights, I thought of you. And I was thinking how much you were cheering for Michigan, since you love Michigan so much.
Oh, no.
In fact, I also remember when you were wearing my Michigan hat and I had to take it from you because I needed it back, but I'm sorry, I'll buy you one.
You're not
I will
getting me
buy
that.
you one.
That's a
Yep.
terrible one.
Nope. You wore it and you loved it.
That's terrible. That's garbage. That was
Nope.
terrible.
You loved
God,
it.
that was terrible.
My second call out
Oh, man.
is Mark D'Antonio.
Uh-oh.
We all know Michigan needed Michigan State to beat Nebraska. And as I'm in the car driving home from the Minnesota game, listening to the game on the radio, it's 4th and 2 at the 38-yard line of Nebraska, and they punt the ball. They just needed 2 yards to win the game, and they decided to punt the ball. So the ball goes from the 38-yard line, and it was a touchback, to the 20. So it's only an 18-yard difference. That's not going to make a difference. 2 yards, you win the game. Mark D'Antonio, you're famous for your fake field goals and all, and you don't go for it when you need 2 yards, and you have Le'Veon Bell on your team.
Well,
All right.
first of all, of course, Michigan State had confidence in their defense, so I think it was a smart conservative call on 4th and 2. Anyway, my call-outs here. My first one here I'm going to call out, of course, is Brady Hoke. Brady Hoke, why? Simple. Let's look at it here. You lost in Nebraska last couple weeks ago, but also, of course, you tried to make Michigan into what you wanted it to be. Your record against Mark D'Antoni, I understand, was 1-1, but I'm begging you, okay? You got to look at your stretch here. You got to look at what Brady Hoke. You became like, I don't know what you're trying to do over in Ann Arbor. You know, you're trying to make a traditional team, trying to make them back. But here's what I am. I'm a true Spartan fan, you know. Soon, your losing streak will come. And it starts next year when Paul Bunyan comes home to East Lansing and Michigan State. But if you look at it here, Brady Hoke, you probably will not last long in Ann Arbor. Rich Rodriguez went 3 years, and he was 3-0, and he was 3-0 all time against Michigan State. That was a beautiful thing.
You mean
Rich Rodriguez.
0-3.
Rich Rodriguez, please come back to Ann Arbor. It'll make me happy.
You want Rich Rod because you're scared of Brady Hoke, and Brady Hoke is undefeated at Michigan Stadium.
He's 1-1 against Mark D'Antonio. Mark D'Antonio is, of course, last few years, of course, they won the Paul Bunyan 4 years in a row. Okay.
Because we had a terrible coach.
No. And of course, it's Mark D'Antonio is 4-2 against Michigan in his career. 4-2. Not a lot of coaches can say that in Michigan State.
You got another call out?
Yeah, I do.
Give it up.
You want to go first?
Oh, I thought you were calling this guy.
You go first.
All right. Well, for some reason, I'm going to call out my professor that I currently have, so I hope he's not watching. Highly doubt he is. Mr. Gene Fogel. Not sure why I'm calling you out. This guy pressured me to do so. He threatened my life if I didn't call you out, and I apologize.
What?
I think you're a fantastic man, even though he calls you Mean Gene. And,
He didn't call you Mean Gene.
You call him Mean Gene. It's not nice. It's Gene Fogel. Mr. Fogel to you. I think you're fair and honest. Your grading policies are superb, and I love your class. And I'm sorry for calling you out.
Well, I'm going to call out Gene Fogel to take care of your excuses. Gene Fogel, why? It's simple. You know, I had to miss one day of class because I didn't feel good. I had a sinus problem. Okay? Give me that. And I was really upset with the way I couldn't get my assignment done. I understand your grading policy and all that, but
You got 1 minute.
give me a chance. Give me a chance. Please give me a chance. You know, to at least, instead I get a 0 on the paper. Gene Fogel, I'm very disappointed. I'm crying. I'm upset. I'm done. Jeez.
Wow, no screaming on the show. That's rare.
So you think that's gonna help your grade by calling out your teacher on live TV?
Hope so.
Okay, well I don't see it, but all right. Well, hey, Mr. Stallings, not your dad, but
Yeah.
Connor Stallings.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. You guys want to shake real quick before we call
No.
it a night?
No, boo. No.
All right. Well, we tried. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us. Next week, I'm sure we'll do something else, and it'll be fun, and we'll have a good time.
Bardian.
Go Blue.
Sparty on.
Bardian.
Go Blue. Go Blue.
Golden
God bless
Grizzlies.
America.
68, 32, and 5.